with your host, Sean Myrie. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. This is the War Report. So, I was telling you guys throughout, I think, last week regarding that Karg Island or that island with the nuclear, or not nuclear, but I mean the oil, right? Where they produce oil, that's the crown jewel of Iran. Well, U.S. warships believed to be carrying additional Marines to the Middle East tracked off of Singapore. So people are seeing these Marines move through the waters, going closer to the Middle East. They were trapped in Singapore. The U.S. Navy warships believed to be carrying Marines and sailors to the Middle East nearing Malacca Strait of Singapore as it makes its way to the region. Maritime's tracking data shows Tuesday. So that's Tuesday. So the amphibious assault ship, so it's an amphibious assault ship, USS Tripoli, was approaching Singapore at the southwestern edge of the South China Sea Tuesday morning, according to AIS tracking data seen by CNN. So this is reported. They're coming. They are coming. That's why I call this the War Report, update you people, right? U.S. Navy ships often move with AIS transponders turned off, revealing their position, while transiting areas with heavy maritime traffic, like waters around Singapore, enables safer operation. So they're around Singapore right now. Bless up, OG Kicks. They're around Singapore and they're moving closer. This is the same tactic or strategy they used in the Caribbean when they're going to Venezuela. Same shit. So, what does the Wall Street Journal report? The Wall Street Journal reported that additional Marines would be ferried by the Tripoli to the Middle East. Those Marines are coming from Okinawa Base 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit, MEU, a rapid response force. Damn. 2,200 personnel after the Pentagon ordered the unit to deploy, according to three officials familiar with the plans. First, it was 2,500. Now it's 2,200 Marines. Amphibious assault they're going to be doing. They're going for that island. It takes a week, I guess, or so. It took some time, but they're coming, right? U.S. Central Command has said that roughly 50,000 U.S. troops are already in the Middle East as part of the war with Iran. So they got 50,000, right? 50,000 soldiers in the Middle East. That's a lot, right? CNN has asked the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet and the 5th Fleet for comment. They're not going to comment, but there's 50,000 soldiers. That's a big amount of soldiers in the Middle East, right? So hopefully they come home safe. And uh, an MEU consists of four elements: command, ground combat. So they plan to go on the ground too. Air combat and logistics. They're not saying about ground troops, but ground combat could come, right? The MEUs typically have been used for missions like evacuations, amphibious operations that require ship to shore movements. So they're going to be doing that in that island, the Karg Island, probably this weekend, right? Like raids and assaults. So it's like a raid and assault style they're going to be bringing. Raids and assault. They also have ground and aviation combat components, and some units are trained for special operations. They better bring the special operations because so far America is losing because the people on the ground you ain't getting to. You can bomb all you want on the ground, but you ain't getting all the locals. The supreme leaders, people have influence on the ground. They're in, establishments. They're threatening people, extortion style, the works, right? So this is what's going on. So this is what's been going on. Based in Sasebo, Japan, Tripoli, almost 850 feet long and displaying 45,000 tons, is essentially a small aircraft carrier or carrier that carries F-35 stealth fighters and MV-22 Osprey transport, as well as landing craft to move troops ashore. So they're going to bring in some troops. We might see this weekend, right? We might see this weekend coming, that some troops actually land on this island that's away from Iran. It's right next to Iran, but it's the crown jewel. So we may see some troops. It is the lead ship in the amphibious ready group, which should normally include the amphibious transport docks USS New Orleans and USS San Diego. Okay, so they're ready for war, ready for war. That's why I call it the war report. I was telling you guys this a week ago, that they're going to be doing a lot of shit. Pastor Pork Chop, you shouldn't be talking about tether business and you're saying you're pork, talking about the pork stuff. Trump's NATO threat. So Trump plans to pull out of NATO, right? Donald Trump renewed attacks on NATO after allies refused to join his Iran war effort. Oh, he's crying right now. People, bring up the likes and please subscribe. Right? So it says Donald Trump renewed attacks on NATO after allies refused to join his Iran war effort, have triggered fierce backlash within his own party. Republicans rep Don Bacon warned that a unilateral withdrawal from the alliance would cause a civil war in the GOP. He don't give a damn, Trump, about civil war. He don't give a damn. He's pulling out of NATO. He didn't ask anybody for permission. So he's continuing whatever he wants to do. So it says Trump lashes out after NATO snub. President Donald Trump sharply criticized NATO after its members refused to his request to help secure the Strait of Hormuz. You know what the Strait of Hormuz is? The place where trading for oil, I guess this oil, a lot of the world, depends on, and it's from Iran, to flow through. Good, right? People, please bring up the likes and subscribe. Now he says the U.S. did not need its help. Okay, so it said, what are you saying? Hormuz. During the U.S. and Israel war against Iran, in the Oval Office remarks, he called the alliance a one-way street. Said the U.S. did not need its help. NATO. They're talking about NATO. Framing the refusal as a foolish mistake. His comments followed weeks of appeals for Allied warships to protect the route carrying 20% of global oil trade, which received almost no commitments. So I'm hearing he's letting certain people through. He's letting certain people through, but this is what the next part of the war is going to bring. He's doing basically a blockade of the Hormuz, that part in Iran. So right now, Republican backlash over NATO. It looks like the Republicans are fighting themselves. Everybody's fighting against Trump. Trump has his own party fighting against him, but he don't give a damn, right? He says Republican backlash, right? Make NATO's pitiful. We help them with Ukraine, but they won't help us at all. Does America need help? I'm just saying, like, if America's so strong, America doesn't need no help. He just said it. He doesn't need any help. It's back and forth. 1 minute Trump says he needs help. 1 minute he's saying he doesn't need their help. Which one is it? I want to know. Which one is it? America brought themselves into this war. Who do you want to help you? They lost 19 days in the war, and what's going on with the war? Is America winning now? Are they winning? Because the people haven't give up. People, bring up the likes, please subscribe, all that good stuff. No one has given up. I haven't seen no weapons, people putting down their weapons, people giving up to America. It's not happening. We're hearing about recent attacks in Israel getting bombed to hell, and nothing. They're not giving up. So it says, long standing, we already know with NATO, he doesn't give a damn. That's a waste of time. So it says, Iran strikes back after Israel assassinations. So they hit back. Bless up everybody joining the chat. Bless up Chris. So this is what happened. Iran launched a major missile barrage against Israel and Gulf states in retaliation for the killing of two top security officials by Israeli strikes in Tehran. The attack killed at least two in central Israel, hit U.S. diplomatic sites in Iraq, and targeted regional energy infrastructure, escalating fears of prolonged and widening conflict. The strikes come amid mounting global concern over nuclear safety, energy supply distributions, and the absence of a clear path to the end of war. When will it end? Is it going to end? I was just talking to my pops, and you know what he was saying? They're going to have to put down something like Hiroshima. It's the only way it's going to really get through some people's heads. Some people, it might be a sacrifice, but they're going to have to hit Iran kind of like Japan. Even though some people might get hurt and realize there's 90 million people in Iran, but it seems like something has to happen. That's the only way they're going to stop this. The only way they might listen. The people who are under the supreme leader, they worship this man and they worship whatever they're under. They're not giving up. They will die for this. So, how are you going to win that type of ideology? How are you going to win over that? That's what I want to know. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is the war report. So, Israel, they have been striking all the investments or the people who are good with America in the Middle East. That's the way they're fighting the war. They're hitting all the Arab states or whoever is good with America close by, including Israel. So, Israel has been getting hit, and I'm hearing anybody who takes pictures or reports on that and has any visuals from Israel, they're getting arrested right now. So that's what's going on. Iran's missile retaliation targets Israel and Gulf states. So that's what's going on. Iran launched a core, I don't even know how to pronounce this, a missile, four and a quadra multiple warhead missiles at central Israel, killing two in Ramat Gan and injuring several others in what is called a revenge for the assassination. The strikes also targeted Gulf neighbors with Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Kuwait intercepting drones and missiles, while a hit on U.S. Embassy in Baghdad marked a direct blow to the American assets. Footage show clusters, munitions deployed over Israel and underscoring the sophistication of Iran's response. So people are thinking, we're going to take out Iran. They're nobodies. They don't have any fight. This is going to be easy. But this is the threat. Maybe the nuclear war, which let's see. Nuclear safety fears after Bushehr plant strike. A projectile struck Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant. Its only operational reactor, though no damage or injuries were reported. The International Atomic Agency urged maximum restraint to avoid nuclear accident. So they hit a nuclear plant, I'm guessing. While I don't know why to say that, Russia's Rosatom began evacuating staff and halted reactor construction. The incident intensified concerns over the war's potential to trigger a nuclear disaster within lasting global consequences. So Russia's involved in some way, people. Russia's involved. People, please subscribe, bring up the likes if you can. Uh, Russia is involved with this. So I don't know why they put Russia. Now, when I see Russia, I guess they're doing construction of some nuclear type of plant in Iran. So Russia has their own people are in Iran. This is not really getting reported. It's not going viral, but Russia's very like they're in it. Go Iran, go. Well, right now they're going, right? They're going. Now, this is what's happening. Energy choke points global market turmoil. Iran's sustained closure of the Strait of Hormuz has crippled Gulf energy exports, pushing Brent crude over $100 a barrel and disrupting aluminum and helium supply chains. Gulf, so this is doing a whole bunch of stuff. Money, 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 money. It's hurting, right? Long war scenarios and strategic deadlock. Do you guys think it's going to be a short war? Really, let's be honest. Even if you don't like, you're going for Trump and stuff. Do you think it's going to be just like a month more or it's going to be a year more? I think it's going to be longer. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Long war scenarios, strategic deadlock. Analysts note that while the US and Israel see a quick victory, Iran's strategy is to endure and outlast, the turning survival into success. That's what they want. So they're planning to die so they could stretch it long. That's their strategy. Die for whatever they believe. If this carries on, which I believe unfortunately will, then we have a big tsunami, economical hardship, tsunami coming our way. Yes, yes, you're right, Darius. It's not going to end fast, especially for American citizens, because you guys are in the target of, the Muslim world or the Islamic world right now, even though these people who are in charge of Iran, they're doing their own thing, right? I agree. This is a very complicated war and situation because this is what I was trying to tell people. And I was talking with my pops, my dad, before I was on here, that a lot of the Iranian supreme leaders people, they're mixed up with the people who are against them. So meanwhile, you're thinking you're going to be bombing the Iranian leaders. People, he's in the cities with the innocent people. They're in the cities with the Iranian leadership is mixed in with the people who are protesting. They're the ones with the guns, they're the ones with the money. So you're not going to be bombing these other cities with innocent people. So you are forced ground troops. People, please subscribe, bring up the likes if you can. If you can, you're forced ground troops now because the people are not going to give up. You keep bombing and bombing and bombing, but they're not giving up. What do you do if you keep bombing and they keep hitting back? Like Trump is telling you all this good stuff, what they're doing, but at the same time, you see missiles flying from Iran still hitting targets. What about that? Let's clear that up, people. Let's be honest. Why aren't they gone? Like if you know the military and if America is the biggest military in the world, why are they still around? Because it's bigger than it is, right? Iran, Persia fought the Romans for 600 years. Yes, you're right. I agree. This is a yes. So they're not going to give up. So what's next? You know what's going to happen? You're going to have people in America. You might have these cells go off. That's the next. That's how they're fighting the war. They fight war differently. I hope people know. Do research on these extremists and stuff. They're not going to be fight. If they can't fight you with their weapons, they're going to fight you mentally. They're going to make you scared in society. They're going to make people scared to go to grocery stores. They're going to make people scared to go to the movies, go to baseball games, basketball games, everything that an American society they love. That's what they're going to do, right? So don't think that it's going to be just this war that is just over at their country. Remember 9/11. That's all I got to say. Remember 9/11. Remember national security, how people were freaking scared to go on planes. Remember that. People, bring up the likes. Please subscribe. All that good stuff. You remember that 9/11? They thought they're going to take out everybody, all the Taliban, all the Iraqis. Iraq's kind of quiet now, but Afghanistan still has the Taliban. They're not gone, they're still there. And I'm hearing the solidarity between some Muslim countries. They might come together to fight for Iran all of a sudden because they hate America. So these Marines are on their way to I guess that area, that island with all the whatever plants, the oil plants, they want to take it over. They're going to take it over like Guantanamo Bay. They're going to take over that part of Iran. Trump wants to pull out, but he can't leave the Israelis. That's true. Also, I had an 8-year war with Iraq, so they're very used to war. So, yes, they're used to the war, but Iraq is not Iran. All I gotta say. Saddam had people who were against him more. Saddam didn't have a full control over that country compared to the supreme leader. The supreme leader has a cult following. Saddam never had a cult following. Saddam had was still fighting his own people. Meanwhile, he was, the president. But in Iran, it's a different case. Now they're fighting to see should we bring ground troops. Should we bring ground troops in? They're going to bring some in. And I'm going to bet, I'm putting down money to it, that there's going to be a couple, by the time this war is finished, there's at least going to be over 1,000 American soldiers dead. There's going to at least be over 1,000 soldiers dead from this war, if not more, from America. right? Trump put himself into something he ain't ready for. He tried to tell us all that it wasn't his fault, that it was Rubio and Vance's fault. They got him into all of this. He's trying to push it on them. So that is nasty work, pushing it on these guys. And at the same time, he wants to go to Cuba. There's Cuban news. Do you guys know about Cuba? They're saying Cuba gave in to America right now. I don't believe that. Cuba's been starving for a while. I'm going to look that up for you guys. Cuba and America. Cuba. What's going on with Cuba? Cuba's right next to America, right? Do you guys want that shit to go on? Because that is another enemy they'll be making. Two in one. More enemies, right? This is war, people. Let's see. Cuba, America update. It's not a good thing. This is, I don't know, he's crazy. He's a crazy old man with power, right? He's a crazy old man with power who just wants to do it before he dies. Yes, he says he'll take over Cuba. Right now, they're trying to cover the media. They're trying to do a shadow ban stuff so you guys don't really see the real deal, right? Paying attention because all you do is spelling the. I'm not saying no lies. This is really going on. I'm actually reading from, unless the news is lies, unless Trump is doing fake news, unless it means it's the real shit, right? I'm not saying no lies. I have my opinions. All you could have your opinions, but I'm giving you the real deal. I'm not like the others. I'm down to earth. I'll give you the real news. What's going on with Cuba and Cuba? They're saying is trying to give in, but I don't believe that's real. I believe Trump. They're still standing their ground, right? They're still standing their ground. My thing is that America is losing. That's fact. The way how he was speaking that America was gonna get away, like it's going to be a weak battle, it's going to be easy, they're going to give up and stuff. No, that's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening, people. That's not happening. He's lying to you. He's lying to you. He wants to go to Cuba and he wants to go to other places, a whole bunch of things. He wants to take out the president. He wants to restore it with Marco Rubio. Trump floats friendly takeover of Cuba. What's his end game? What is his end game? What's Trump's end game? Right? What's his end game? Listen, you got to be nice in here. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What's Trump's end game? From blackouts to okay, the blackouts. What's going on in Cuba? You think that's natural? That's just happening? Cuba's blaming America for the blackouts right now. They're blaming America for the blackouts. They're blaming Trump, saying Trump is the one behind the blackouts. Trump muses over Cuba as the island. Let's see. Now, he's always talking some trash a lot of the time. So, Cuba restores power after 29-hour blackout. That's what's going on. So, he wants to go to Iran. He wants to go to Cuba. What is next for you guys? How is he making America great again? Let me know. Iran, Cuba, Greenland, and Canada. He's pure evil, not mad. Evil. I agree with you, Martin Finley. Evil. Evil. It's just a dark energy. He wants to take over. This is like his new world order type of shit, what he's doing. It's like a new world order, right? He says, I'm going to bring the heat when I become the president. That's what he wants to do. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. He says he wants to bring the heat when he's the president. He wants to, this is what he's saying. By going to Cuba, he wants the Cuban Americans to return there. He wants them to be able to return there, AKA run the country for America, a new colony. That's why he's talking about Marco Rubio being the president. Big question. Yes, they want to take over Cuba. Even other countries are selling out Cuba right now. Jamaica just sold out Cuba. They used to have the medical program with Cuba for 50 years and they ended it like 2 weeks ago. They ended that relationship with Cuba. They're saying, "Yo, thank you, but why would you end it? Because probably Jamaica's in bed with America too." Think of it. They ended a 50-year relationship with Cuba, right? Why did they end a 50-year relationship with Cuba? They know something is happening. They know something is going on, Jamaica. So they don't want to be part of it. They don't want no part of it. They want to be good with America, Jamaica. So sorry, Jamaica, but you're selling out to Donald Trump. And you know what? You should be scared because you don't want him to take over. He's kind of taking you guys over in a way. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. He's kind of taking you guys over in a way. No food, no fuel, no tourists under US pressure. That's what's hitting Cuba. No tourism. People don't want to go there right now because of all this bad publicity. No fuel, right? No oil. So Canada had to come in and feed Cuba. So America doesn't like Canada just for that. They're feeding Cuba. Cuba, good relationship with Russia, good relationship with China. He hates that. He hates that shit. So what's going on? These tariff stuff is part of it. First, he starts with these tariffs, and then he's doing all the rest of the stuff. I said it before in earlier episodes, economic war. That's what he's doing. Economic war against people. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, people. What do you guys think? Right? Leave it in the comments. But there's new news right now. I guarantee I looked this up. This guy's doing all types of stuff. But is he helping America be great again? Are your groceries a good price in the stores? Are people, do you have jobs, or is it going to foreign countries? Right? So Trump, let's see Trump, because he's always in the news. This man is active. They're saying rumor he might die soon. That's a conspiracy theory saying he might die. Trump approves ratings, hits new low. So he's low in the ratings, MAGA people. He's low in the ratings. Donald Trump's approval rating hits new low, polls show. So it's low. President Donald Trump's approval rating has hit a new low in his recent term. A poll from research firm not good. Why? It matters. Shift in approval and disapproval ratings could signal broader erosion or complicate the Republican Party's midterm strategy, especially as multiple trackers show Trump's significant underwater national. What the hell are they saying? He's losing though. He's losing a lot of support, people. He's losing. So what does this mean? America's losing. If Trump is losing, America's losing because he's the captain of the ship and he's sailing everywhere right now. He's sailing all over the world. He's putting out threats. He's talking every day. He's making the relations between other countries a bad one. It's not good. So, what do Americans want? I guarantee the tourism is down in everywhere in America. I know Las Vegas and Florida, it's down. The tourism is down. It's March break right now, right? How's the Iran regime doing? They're still around. They're still hitting Israel. That's a good question, Daniel. They're still hitting Israel. They still got weapons. I'm waiting for them to disarm them fully. I'm waiting for America to fully disarm Iran and no missiles hitting Israel, no missiles hitting Kuwait, no missiles hitting Saudi Arabia. I'm waiting for complete silence. So it seems like America is losing. That's what it is. So check this. It's kind of interesting. I see a picture with Mr. Trump, right? Award the FIFA Peace Prize. He loved no, that's some old shit. That's some old shit. He was mad about not winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Makes rare remarks on Iran war 2 hours ago. A remark from Vance. You want to hear this, people? Please subscribe. Bring up the likes if you can. You want to hear this? Vance makes rare remarks on Iran war. Says Trump won't risk a long-term conflict. This guy, should he be talking? Trump won't risk a long term conflict. Vice President J.D. Vance insists Wednesday President Donald Trump won't drag the U.S. into a prolonged conflict with Iran, some of his most direct comments on the war since it began. So, what are they going to be dropping? A nuclear weapon? What are they going to be dropping? Hiroshima? Because these guys ain't giving up. They blasted one of them. I don't know if it's true. The son's legs off. So, and he's still talking. That shows you a sign. Let's see. Okay, so you're from the UK, dearest. I can speak for the UK, and the cost of living has gone up. In fact, I have never seen such a violation inflation rate. Also, the working class and the middle class are getting heavily taxed and no real benefits. Never bet against America. Okay, Mark Finley, the Epstein files. Yeah, this is taken away from the Epstein files. Yeah. The Epstein files, ASF Trump is mentioned it over 500,000 times so far, but big loser is the American people from Ireland. So, yeah, the Epstein files, good luck with that. I'm hearing missing files. Meanwhile, they're doing war, like I said. This is probably part of the whole distraction package, the war and going into Cuba because of the Epstein files. Epstein files have been missing recently, a whole bunch of them, right? A whole bunch of them. UK takes 38% fuel duty. The price of the barrel is basically irrelevant in the UK. Yes, and Russia don't care because Russia have their well, they kind of care. Russia kind of care. They got, oil themselves, but they do kind of care. Right? Right, people? Let me get my drink. They do kind of care. This is a long war. He's saying he's very cocky, Vance. Vance is very cocky. He's saying that this is going to be a short war. He's talking for Trump. Trump don't want a long war. Vance had been mostly absent from public discourse about Iran, raising questions in recent days about whether he is safeguarding his own political future or a genuine odds with the president, securing his own damn future. Yet Vance told the audience Wednesday in Michigan, that's today, nobody likes war, and I can guarantee the president is not interested in getting us in a kind of long term whatever war we've seen in years. Sure, so far it's 19 or 20 days going. Vance still hasn't said whether he personally agrees with the US decision to strike Iran. Oh, interesting. And his comments Wednesday adhered to his long held views that he opposes entering into a prolonged war with the Middle East. You better be quiet. You better be quiet because you're the vice president. He made a similar statement in the interview with Fox News earlier this month, calling the conflict in Iran different from the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. See, he's saying it, insisting Trump has a clear objective in preventing from Iran from having nuclear weapons, which they have knocked a lot of things out, right? Nuclear weapons. Donald Trump is going to allow his country to get is not going to in a multi-year conflict. Sure, 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 Vance. Sure, Vance. It's 19 days. Now, if I'm back here in the next if it's June, if June comes and we still talking about this is a nightmare for America. On top of the ICE agents, what they have out in America, watching American citizens taking away more of your freedom. That's bad. And on the other hand, a lot of millionaires have left the country, yeah, because of certain property taxes and tourism down. Tourists can't claim back VAT on the purchase of goods. Yes, you're right. Joseph, thanks for joining the chat. Everybody in the chat, put your opinions. I'll read it. I'll read all your opinions, bad or good, right? It depends. Bad or good. Please subscribe, bring up the likes. But yes, it's going down, people. It's the war report. And what Vance is like saying, he's on the fence. He's kind of being quiet because he wants to be the president in the future. What Vance said publicly about the war since it began, he's talked today about stuff. He's basically saying he doesn't want it to be a long war, but it's going to be a long war. It's going to be long. I'm sorry. It will be long. Like it or not, it's going to be a long war, and you're going to see more casualties. No one is giving up in Iran. The Iran regime you thought was going to just, what's called give up, that's what he was saying, is not giving up. So, what do you do if people ain't giving up? How desperate is America going to get or Trump going to get to win this war? You know how desperate he's going to get? This is how he's going to get it. The only way you could get these people are the supreme leaders people. You're going to have to hit them like Hiroshima. You're going to have to put out some big explosion. Maybe that's coming Saturday. But it has to be a major explosion for them to give up. Right now, they got the crown jewel. They got these Marines going to the whatever the Hormuz or the Karg Island to take it over. So these Marines are gonna go on. They're gonna be on the foot too. They're guaranteed. So Vance is talking. I think he should shut up. Kind of. He should stick with his boy. Stick with Donald Trump fully. Um, Stop talking. I think he's talking too much on for Donald Trump's defense. You're talking too much because right now you guys are in war. It doesn't look good with Israel, and you're not winning. For the strongest military in the world to still be there, and Israel is getting hit. How much? How are you winning if Israel's still getting hit? How are you winning if your best friend is getting hit still? Think of it. How are you winning? This is like a gang war. How are you winning the fight if you and Israel are there? You're bombing the hell out of all these things, but then they're bombing the hell out of all in the Middle East, and they're bomb. Doesn't make no sense. Make it make sense. It's not happening. It's not happening. So things are gonna go up in America. He says oil is gonna go up. He told you guys. He's telling the world people are gonna suffer. He's saying people will suffer with the oil going up. You're gonna feel it. So make America great again. Make America great again. He must be so confident in the Venezuelan oil. It has to be that. It has to be. That must be the thing. His end game. How could war in Iraq impact Vance's 2028 prospects? Who gives a damn about that? Trump's billionaire advisor rebukes Iran war as JD. So some recent news, people. Got some more recent news. This is fresh off the press. Let's see. I didn't know this. Let's go. Let me go back to that. Let me go back to that. I didn't know this. Some millionaire meeting going on. Oh. Wait a minute. A day ago, I didn't even know this. Russia responds after Trump says he plans to take Cuba. I gotta read this. I didn't know this stuff. I didn't know this. China issues warning to Trump's upcoming trip delayed. Okay, let me read this. Russia responds to Trump says he plans to take Cuba. Interesting, because I know that's Russia's baby. People, please like, subscribe, bring up the likes if you can. This is the war report. This is Russia's baby. What did Donald Trump say about Cuba? Okay, let's see. Russia on Tuesday, this is yesterday, responded to President Donald Trump remarks about taking Cuba amid growing tensions between Washington and Havana. Okay, what did Trump say about Cuba? Trump said on Monday he believes he will have the honor of taking Cuba. I said that as the island faces worsening economic conditions and power grid, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's see what Russia got to say. What Trump previously threatened a friendly takeover of Cuba, longtime U.S. adversary. He also confirmed that Cuban government was in talks with the U.S. So he's saying that the Cuban government is in talks with America, but did not provide any details on the engagement first revealed last week. So if they ain't listening, if you guys ain't listening, that's what he done to Iran. If you ain't listening, he's coming for you. I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba. That's a big honor, taking Cuba in some form. True, Trump told reporters in the Oval Office, whether I feel it, whether I free it, take it, I think I could do anything I want with it. If they want to know the truth, they are very weakened. How did Russia respond? Do you want to know how Russia respond? The Russian foreign minister said it would continue to support Cuba amid Trump's threats of a takeover. How are they going to support Cuba? How is Russia going to support Cuba, people? People, bring up the likes. Please subscribe. All that good stuff. Russia reaffirms its unwavering solidarity with the government and fraternal people of Cuba. The ministry said, we strongly condemn attempts to gross interference in the internal affairs of the sovereign state, intimidation, and the use of illegal. Oh, so Russia wants to enter the war theater, people. They want to enter the war theater. They ain't joking, right? They ain't joking. What Trump is smoking. Whew. Russia has been an ally to Cuba for decades, dating back to the time of the Soviet Union. They continue to share close security and economic ties. The government's political position is concerned for Russia as a weakened Cuba could have implications for Russia's global policy in Americas. Russia, which is already facing U.S. sanction amid its Ukraine invasion, has said it would send oil to Cuba. So, is America going to stop the oil from Russia? I'm hearing that's what's going on. That's the fight. Russia's sending, right, oil to Cuba. Are they going to stop Russia? I'm hearing they can't do that. You can't stop Russia. That's not going to happen, people. You ain't going to stop Russia. And if you do stop Russia, nuclear war is a threat. Correct me if I'm wrong. Also, it's not a war with Iran. It's Iran regime, most of Iranians. You know what it's a war with? I was saying the real war is Russia and America. As you look and do your research, common sense, who's behind all of this? Russia, America, and China. Let me say it again. Russia, America, and China. That's the real fight. Russia is using Iran like an invisible army. That's what it is. Iran is like their lower army, if you want to call it. They have them. This is like a chessboard, pawns, right? They're like the pawns, straight up. Iran is the pawns for Russia. So right now, Russia's been watching how America's attacking Iran, how America's dealing with Iran. You have to think of it, right? Vice versa. America's been watching how Russia's dealing with Ukraine, and Russia's been losing. Russia lost over 1 million soldiers, so America's been watching and supplying Ukraine. Vice versa, they're going to supply Cuba now. So you're going to see a couple thousand, I'm going to call it, couple hundred, maybe up to the thousand American casualties down the line. This is not ending tomorrow. This is not ending in June. This is going to keep going, if not for 20 years, right? Bless up everybody in the chat. This is going to be going on for like 20 years. It's not going to end. It's never going to end. These people ain't giving up. The Iranian regime, right? The supreme leader has probably millions of followers. I don't know if you guys haven't checked up since he passed away, how much supporters were in the streets crying over him. How much as they say 80% of the country support did not like him. You still have like 20, 30% people, maybe 30 million people, 20 million people who still support the supreme leader, right? For 20 years, not 20 years, they still can't, they're not winning right now in Afghanistan. The Taliban is still there. That's been over 20 years. The Taliban is still in Afghanistan. Yes, it will be 20 years, 100% people. It will be 20 years, right? Even if you don't want it to be, it's going to be 20 years. It's going to be 20 years. These people ain't giving up, like it or not. They're not giving up. So what's Trump saying? Russia on Tuesday responded. So Russia's responding. You know it's going to be long because you got other countries behind them. No one was behind Iraq, really. The reason it's going to be long because you have China and Russia behind Iran. China and Russia wasn't behind Iraq. Iraq wasn't getting any support, people. Iraq wasn't getting nothing. Remember that. These guys have allies. That's the difference. So you can't tell me that stuff. Whoever's saying that, they have allies. You're gonna have to take them out. You're gonna have to take them out. You're gonna have to stop them. You're gonna have to hurt them, right? He said one reason he went to Iran because they threatened his life. They threatened his life. I done a podcast on the intruder at Mar-a-Lago estate. Was that the terrorist? Who? How come we have no reports on these people trying to kill Trump? We hearing that they tried to take his life. That's why they went to Iran, right? So you notice a lot of these assassinations against Trump. You don't hear about the person, the perpetrator anymore. You don't hear anything about them. So one of those people are the terrorists, I'm guessing. One of those assassinations, and they're not telling us because probably the American government is ashamed or the FBI is ashamed that somebody got through to almost assassinate Donald Trump. Yes, yes, the world is being open to the people who believe in, okay, whatever. Let me check out the Mar-a-Lago. I hit a nerve a couple weeks ago. Who's the guy who they took out? Okay, Trump's estate attacker. Who's the attacker? Do you guys know who the attacker is? Most of you probably don't know who the attacker is. So that must be the terrorist. uh, Trump accuser got off from. No, no, no. I don't want to know about that. I want to know about the attacker. The attacker, Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Attacked. Attacked. They don't want to talk about that. I hit a nerve there, right? I hit a nerve there. Who's the guy? They're hiding that story, kind of. They're hiding that story right now. Guaranteed. They're hiding that story, man. Let's see. Let's see. It should be around. That should be around. But people, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Suspect identified after fatal shooting. How come I never heard about it? How come I never heard about the attack? Suspect identified after fatal shooting at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Who is it? Who is it? A man was shot and killed early Sunday after allegedly breaching, right? Breaching the secure perimeter. No, no, no. Let me cut this out. Let me cut out this audio. Let me cut out this audio. Let me cut out this audio. So it says a man was shot and killed early Sunday after allegedly breaching the perimeter of President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida. The U.S. Secret Service said, but we don't know who this person is. Right? That's an example of what's going on. They're trying to, put out all these other stories so you don't pay no attention to this. The incident occurred around 1:30 a.m. when the suspect made an unauthorized entry through the north gate of the resort as another vehicle was exiting. The man has been identified as 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin. This is the first time I knew about this. People, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Austin Tucker Martin of North Carolina, Palm Beach County Sheriff. How come we don't see a picture of this guy? I don't even see a picture of this guy. This is to show you the shit what's going on. They confronted the white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those two pieces of equipment that he had with him, which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to the shooting position, they killed him. We don't even see a picture of him. No picture. Why? Why? There's no picture of the guy. I don't even want to read no more of this shit. I knew what happened. Where's the picture? That's why that stream what I had a couple weeks ago, I can't see it. Still cannot see that stream. I'm telling you, they're doing a media filtration right now. One of my streams when I talked about the intruder, you cannot see that. I got a other one where I was on and I could hear the voices of somebody else talking in the stream. Like, when they're bugging your phone and shit. I got that too. So right now, they are doing a filter for all media people talking about Trump. It's crazy. Everywhere. No picture of this guy. 21-year-old, right? 21, say one from the golf course, another entered. See, how you saying it? They saying it like one. Randy, they're saying it's like one. When you're telling me this is like a new thing, you said one from the golf course, another entered Mar-a-Lago, the third attempt. Oh, you're talking about another one. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we don't know about the 21-year-old. There's no name for this guy. There's no name. It's a mystery. It's a mystery right now. No name, people. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Do you guys see a picture of this guy? He's not underage. He's 21. Normally, you would see the picture plastered everywhere. Some people would be praising this guy for trying to do it. People, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. What's the name of this guy? I want to know. Do you guys know? I do know, actually. I just told you guys the name. I want to see the picture. I want to see the picture of this guy. I don't see no picture. Not one damn picture. I'm not even going to search for it. No picture of the guy. So that alone, they're covering up. You know what I think? The man was the so-called terrorist. He must be the terrorist they're talking about who was trying to kill Trump. It must be him. Who is it? No one is asking. You see how they got people now? You see how they got people not asking? Put not, Butler makes three. Oh, damn. Butler makes three? Yo, obviously, when you're telling me that business, Randy, they're not talking about that. We're not hearing about butlers. We're not hearing about anybody. I just read one suspect so far. The man was shot and killed early Sunday after allegedly breaching to secure the perimeter, the area. Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach. So this is the guy's name. Okay, identified as 21-year-old Austin Tucker, Martin of North Carolina. Let me check out Austin Tucker. Austin Tucker. What is Austin Tucker? I'm gonna look up Austin Tucker because this is a mystery man. He's a big mystery right now. Austin Tucker. Austin Tucker. Gotta look him up. Austin Tucker. You notice he's dead. No trial, no nothing. We're not gonna hear about this. We're not gonna hear about this. Just a mystery. Who's this guy? Right? I think Martin, right? Austin Tucker Martin. They didn't make him viral. Oh damn. Let's see the pictures of him. Interesting. Oh God. When you see the pictures of this guy, where you this is the most dangerous terrorist could be. White, I'm gonna say straight up, white male, glasses, blonde hair, kind of like a serial killer type of look, if you want to call it. We don't know anything of his history, what he was talking about before, why he did it and stuff. There's all these excuses of, trans stuff that they didn't agree with what Trump was saying. His whole politics is all that stuff, people. All that stuff. So this guy, Austin Tucker Martin, this is interesting. This is interesting because you're not hearing anything about this. I must have hit a nerve talking about this, the Mar-a-Lago attempt. I must have hit a nerve. Now, did you hear about Tucker? This guy, what's his name again? This guy is a big media guy. FBI Director Kash Patel spotted chugging a bit. I don't want to know about Kash Patel. People always saying, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. But no big viral stuff talking about the guy at the Mar-a-Lago estate. Nothing, nothing. So this war, I'm telling you, people, especially American people, the biggest distraction from Epstein files, the biggest distraction from domestic stuff like the ICE, like ICE taking away Americans' rights, the biggest distraction from surveillance in America, a whole bunch of shit. You can't trust what's going on right now, right? There's a war outside no man is safe from. You heard that from Mobb Deep? There's really a war going on out. And there's a war on American citizen also. Don't forget that. It's not just a war on Iran. This is the war report. It's a war on American citizens. So basically, don't think that everything is sweet. Everything is not sweet. Everything is not sweet, people. Nope, it's not sweet. He got you guys forgetting about ICE. He got you guys forgetting about that. So instead of protesting against ICE, I saw that energy, people protesting against ICE. Let's see the protest against the war. Will we get that? I want to see the same energy, a protest against the war. I know Americans don't want the war. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I know for a fact Americans, they don't want this war, right? Most of us are aware of his crap. And then how come people are saying like most of people are supporting him? You said it's crap, right? Ernest, you saying it's crap, but a lot of people are supporting him. So you support the crap? Let me know if you support the crap. You support the crap? You support the crap? Wrong? Yo, there's some MAGA people who might be in here. They'll reply to you if you say wrong. They'll reply to you. They love Trump. Trump is God, right? Trump is God. Or is it that some of the MAGA people is turning against him? Yeah, this Tucker Martin kid was the guy who went to the Mar-a-Lago thing trying to think that Trump was there. Trump was at a dinner. He was at a dinner, man. He was at a dinner eating. Meanwhile, someone went to his estate. Facts about Austin Tucker. Martin shot dead. What's the history of this guy? Right? You guys want to know about war still? You want to know about what's going on in Iran or overseas, or you want to know what's in your backyard? Because you got these crazies right now in your backyard going off, going anywhere, saying, thinking Trump is there. What we know about the man shot dead, President Trump, Mar-a-Lago estate, let's see, not much beyond artistic talent where he lived is known about what Austin Tucker Martin, the suspect, fatally shot after authorities said he pointed. Okay, blah blah blah. Martin died after being shot about 700 miles from North Carolina home. 700 miles from his North Carolina home. So he traveled a long way. That's a terrorist. That's American terrorists. That's what it is, American terrorists. But no one's telling you about this guy. This is the war report, people. I'm not even gonna read all this shit, but unless you guys want to know about this guy, right? He came from all the way from North Carolina just for Trump and to die. He came all the way there just to die, right? So you think America's winning this war right now? Losing badly. Badly. The so-called fast war is going to spread for months and months and months. That's why he's begging other nations to help. Right now, Donald Trump is begging other countries to help him. That's what's going on. He's begging the whole NATO and threatening NATO, if you don't help me, it's going to be bad. Right? Right? That's what he's doing. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. He's threatening the whole world, saying if you don't help America, you'll see something bad. You got the strongest military in the world. What help? What help do you need? You got the strongest military in the world. What help do you need? You got a shitload of stuff in the sea near the Middle East. Why do you need other countries? Other countries don't want to get into it. You want to get into it. You're the one who went there. Why you want to put other people in it? Senators and the House Representative website select their contact communication web form and submit a request that they act to stop funding and supporting it. Yes, I like that info. At least you put that out there. Yes, stop supporting the war. Stop support. Do you support the war? I don't think most Americans support the war. They're saying his polls went down. They're saying Donald Trump's polls have went down. That he's not getting the support what you think he's getting. They're saying his support went down, people. So it's not a good look for him. He doesn't have that support what everybody thinks. It's an illusion. Why is the U.S. blocking oil to Cuba? We already know that. What's going on in Cuba? We already know that. He's trying to screw up with Cuba, screwing up Cuba, making conflicts with Russia. We know next maybe might be North Korea, right? Might be North Korea. Wrong with what? You gotta explain. You're just saying wrong. What am I wrong with? I'm reading the shit. What the big news? What you probably look for, right? Wrong with what? Are you just trying to be a troll? Well, the wrong. This is what's wrong. How I do it. Wrong with what? You don't make no sense. You don't make no sense. America doesn't want to be in this war. I don't think most Americans want to be in this war. It's just Donald Trump so he can line his pockets when he's finished being a president, right? With all the oil, right? That's what's going on. A lot of people don't even want to see his face. Let me take his face off here. You don't want to see this guy's face because he's laughing. He's laughing right now. He's laughing in a lot of American people's faces. He doesn't care about America. This is making America great again, going around the whole world creating all types of shit. No, people, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna look up the updates because every minute there's an update. His approval ratings went down. right? Let me look up the news. The new news. His approval ratings went down. News. This is the war report, people. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, right? So let's see. Let's see. Military is using AI in war. Am I surprised? I'm not surprised they're using AI in war. Okay. Let's see. White House offers concession on body cams. That's for the police. Remember, I told you about the ICE, right? So a lot of stuff is going on. A lot of stuff is going on. What's the recent news? Associated Press breaking news, latest headlines. I'm trying to see something like a couple seconds ago because this guy's always talking. He's going on with this man. Oh, okay. Meanwhile, we're not hearing anything about Epstein files. You know something big happened with the Epstein files recently, right? That's part of the whole war too. That's part of the war report because Trump is fighting against the Epstein files. Something happened. They searched the Epstein Island, and this could be conspiracy theory. They're claiming that his bodies may be buried under his estate in, I guess, New Mexico. But no one's talking about that. No one is talking about that. They're saying that Epstein had some type of link, like we know, with Israel and some type of knowledge of what's going on right now, right? So Epstein and Iran. Let's see, because they censor a lot of shit right now. They're censoring. Why are pro-Iran bots pushing AI fake of Epstein and Trump? Yeah, they've been doing that. Epstein files, what we know about it. Links to Iran. Okay, fact check. Let's see. No, let me go to the fact check. The Epstein files, what we know about it. His links to Iran. So, newly released documents from Jeffrey Epstein case include multiple references to Iran, ranging from claims of meeting with the former Iranian president and to allegation arms trading. So they're saying, and I heard about that because Andrew, Prince Andrew, they're saying is on a record of doing arms dealing, and Prince Andrew was good friends with Epstein. Right? Let me read this. Claims of meeting with former Iranian president, allegations of arms trading, financial networks, and property links connected to Tehran. Among the emails released from Jeffrey Epstein, we ain't hearing about this shit. Epstein, a case is a letter written by Robert Treveria, a prominent American evolutionary biologist, referring to a meeting between Epstein and Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, Iran's former president. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, let's see the letter. Let's see. This is interesting. This is a big thing what's going to blow up soon. This is not the only instance in which Iran appears in the documents made public by the US Department of Justice. Oh, so they're putting that out now. The letter dated March 24th, 2018, appears among millions of documents released as part of the Epstein case. In it, Traveris refers to the meeting between Epstein and Ahmadinejad in New York. I didn't even know that he was in New York. Following the Iranian leader's speeches at the United Nations General Assembly, where they had delivered strong, worded remarks against Israel and Zionism. I remember when he went to America, that leader. Traverse noted that his own information about the Ahmadinejad was limited and partly based on online research, including accounts of Ahmadinejad came from a poor family, whatever, blah, 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 blah. In the letter, Traverse poses a tentative question to Epstein, asking whether this social background may have served as a basis for a connection between the two men. He also described Epstein as a polygamous, perverse in his political and social relationships, suggesting that he was capable of maintaining ties. Okay, we all know that. I'm not reading the whole thing. I done my research on Epstein. And Epstein was dealing with a whole bunch of world leaders all over the world. He was a financier, he was a money man. So he helped hide people's money, probably. And a lot of these people were probably from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar. He was all in there, and he was in Europe too because he's friends with Prince Andrew, former prince, who was arrested just a month ago and released. And he has history with the girl who committed suicide, one of Epstein's victims, right? So no one's talking about that either. Right back at you, freezing up. Oh, of course. Probably, of course, I'm freezing up if I'm freezing up, but it's all right now. It's all right now. Obama sent billions also. Yes. When it's getting busy on the net, like I said, there's a filtration going on. When people are talking about war, people are talking about Mr. Trump, things are not going to be perfect. They tapped into so what it is, and I'm still waiting YouTube for my stream to get fixed from the last one, the intruder episode. I'm still waiting for that one, right? So yeah, there is links. Mr. Epstein was for Israel. That's not a surprise. He was for Israel, and he was against anybody who is against Israel. It's not a surprise to me. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Just checking something right now. Yes, a lot of stuff is going on. A lot of stuff. What do you guys know about what's going on with the war? The war report. You're right here with your host, Sean Myrie. We're actually on podcast platforms, Spotify podcasts, Apple podcasts, all podcast platforms, right? So, yes, Epstein is linked with all of this. He was a guy who was, against anything what would threaten Israel, right? He was Jewish. Let's not hide that. He was Jewish. What else? Maxwell, his girlfriend, the father, was a funder of Israel. The father, right? The father of Elaine Maxwell was with Israel. He died mysteriously on a boat. They said he fell off the boat, and that's how he died. This man was, I guess, he was a billionaire. He was filthy rich, right? So Mr. Epstein, I done an episode on that guy, or the nasty Epstein. I said he was a CIA agent. That's why I called him a CIA agent. That's what I called him out to be. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Yeah, I was saying he's a CIA agent, so I'm not surprised of him. There's millions of files with him. He was a guy who didn't just stay in America. He went to Israel, and he went to the Middle East. He went everywhere in the world, right? So right now, this is the war report. They're saying that Cuba is talking to America. They're talking to America, but Trump's not telling you guys what is really going on. He's basically saying we're speaking with Cuba, and if Cuba don't give up what America wants or what Trump wants, he will go over there and take it over. He's basically threatening. He's threatening them to take over the damn country, people. What do you guys think about this? He's threatening to take over the entire country right next to America, right? So, what will Americans do if he broadens this war? He says he doesn't want to stay in Iran long. But what does that mean? Does that mean that he's not finished? That means he just wants to go to Cuba. That's it. He just wants to leave from one situation to another situation. They're doing it right now. They went to Ecuador the other day with special ops to take out some cartel. So, but you can't leave Iran. The minute you leave Iran, they will be back like they were before. You can't leave Iran. You think of it. Reality, no one's stupid. Even people in this chat, you ain't stupid. You think you're going to leave Iran in just say 5 months. Let's give it 5 months. And it's just going to change the whole country. That's not going to happen. You're going to leave Iran in 5 months and you think the country is going to be changed? It's just going to be different all of a sudden? The people are not going to fight? There's going to be a civil war in that country. Those people who are holding on to power, they don't want the other side to have power. So if the other side tried to step up, I guarantee there'll be a civil war. Who has the weapons? America. Are you arming the opposition now? This is what Americans should answer or ask. I mean, Trump. Where are all the people who are protesting in the streets against the regime? How come those people is not how come they're not fighting now? Meanwhile, America has blasted all these things, all their whatever facilities. What's going on with the opposition? Why isn't the opposition fighting? Why aren't they fighting? They're the ones who were cheering and dancing in the street, praising Trump, but America has to send their troops over there and risk their lives. Americans should be angry at Trump now because he's false promises. He's lying. Where's the opposition? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the opposition in Iran to take out the supreme leader. There's none. There's nothing. It's just pure talk, people. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Do you know? I know where they are. They're chilling at home, watching television, hoping that America will do all the dirty work. All those people, those thousands of people were in the street. That's why Trump went there, because he says that the government is treating the people like shit. And if you kill those protesters, we're going to come in there. So he came there and he announced, he says, now after we blow up all these facilities and take out the government structure, it's your time now to do the rest. What's going on? What's going on? You're the joke, J May. What's going on? You can't answer the question. You see, when people can't answer the question, they'll say anything. You'll say anything. You'll say anything. I think there is an opposition. Yes, there's an opposition, but they're not fighting. So far, we're just hearing thousands of American soldiers go over there. All I'm hearing that there's 2,200 Marines leaving from somewhere else. So there is an opposition, but they're not doing anything. They want America to do the garbage work, be the garbage man. America's the garbage man. Meanwhile, these people are just sitting at home watching, saying, yes, America, we're not going to go out there. We're not, hell no, we're not fighting against that regime. Shit, hell no. They live right in my city, right down the block. There's a couple guys who are loyal to the supreme leader. Hell no, I'm not going to go out there and fight. That's hear about is that's what I hear. That's all I hear is that's what's going on. So America is losing. Trump is losing. Tariffs is hurting people. And that's the facts. Tariffs is hurting. The Iranian people are waiting for America to liberate them, to free them, and Trump is wishing for an army in Iran to fight for him on the ground. And that's what's going on, right? Tonight, all the way up into Saturday, more things are going to come. They got I was telling you in an earlier episode, they got the military going to that Karg Island. It takes a couple days. They're almost there. They're coming. They are coming. Believe me, they are coming. I believe Trump is keeping us in the dark about a lot of things. Yes. Oh, yes. Now I'm hearing alien talk. I'm hearing UFO talk. They're starting that up again. Every time they want to distract people, let's bring up the movie type of talk. This puts us in danger. Yes, he's keeping a lot of stuff in the dark. There's a lot of shit he's keeping up in the dark. This is probably the most darkest time for America, especially when you hear about stuff like Epstein files, billionaire nasty men who've done nasty, disgusting things to children, and that's not getting exposed because people don't want to get billionaires in trouble, their friends in trouble. So let's start a war. Let's bring the ice to bother Americans. Let's take away Americans' freedoms by using the ICE to harass American citizens, not just undocumented people. So this is all of a mix. This is all of he's mixing it. He's mixing it. He's mixing it up, and he don't give a damn. He don't care. He's turning 80, like I said. I keep saying that the man's an old man. Let's be honest. He's an old man. You got an old man here, and he wears diapers. I'm hearing this guy wears diapers. If that's true, or is that a conspiracy that this man's wearing diapers? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I'm hearing he wears diapers, Mr. Trump. Is that true? Holy man, this world is going crazier every day with this guy. This guy has an episode every day. Iran pushes on Epstein conspiracies and information war with the US. So now they're using psychology against America, basically saying America's using this war to hide the conspiracy stuff. And then you got Trump calling the new leader, the son, gay, using those type of, it's like social media beef. Iran pushes on Epstein conspiracies in information war with US, experts tell Post. Iranian officials and state link accounts are invoking the Jeffrey Epstein scandal in English language post. Oh, aimed at Americans, part of a broader effort to inflame conspiracy narratives and erode support for US Israeli operation, experts told. Yeah, they're using that. Yes, they're using it because America is saying that the man is gay, the supreme leader's son. Psychology, right? The secretary of the Supreme National Security Council of Iran, Ali Larjani, wrote in an English language post on X on Sunday, I've heard that the remaining members of Epstein's network have devised a conspiracy to create a incident similar to 9/11 and blame Iran for it. Let's see. Iran fundamentally opposes such terrorist schemes and has no war with the American people. In response to the post, the U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth Larjani wrote, "Mr. Hegseth, our leader, have been and still are among the people, but your leader on Epstein's island." I guess let me clear that up. They're saying that your leader Trump is on Epstein's island. With Iran's internal blackout now having reached its 17th day, according to the net block, restrictions on certain social media, of course, platforms, and the fact that the message was written in English, not Farsi, can be assumed Larjani did not write his message with the Iranians as he intended recipients. Okay, so they're doing this Epstein campaign against Trump. I hate that Democrats don't pounce on him when they have the opportunity. I think we should not let him keep getting away with so much. That's Michael. Okay, Democrats and Republicans let this fool get away way too much. You're right. I believe Trump is, yes, you're right. You're right what you're saying, Michael. They're making the man get away with too much. Too much. Almost murder. He's getting away with murder. People, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Yeah, he's almost getting away with murder. That's what it seems like. This guy's getting away with anything, right? So they're pushing this narrative, which they can, because we still want to know about the Epstein files. The Epstein files. What about that? Oh, war is more important. We're at war. We have no time for the Epstein files. The information war, he said, will be deciding the factor in who wins the conflict. Iran and the US can go through emotions of electing and assassinating new leaders, blah, 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 blah. Don't need to read that. So they're bringing up Epstein files. These guys are bringing up Epstein files. The Iranians. How is he going to run from that? Trump is running, doing all types of stuff. He admit no president could get away with the stuff he gets away with. He admitted it. The man basically said no other president could get away with the things he has gotten away with. People, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Millions of dollars. Now, I'm just going to illustrate this things for you guys. Why this war is not going to stop. This is the war report. You got 91 or 90 million people in the country. Not 3 million, not 2 million, 90 million people in the country. If even majority of them are against the supreme leader, there's still millions and millions of people who still, support that regime. So how are you going to take over a country? How are you going to win this war? You're not, because they're suicidal. Some of these people, this is like a cult. They rather die. So if they rather die, that means the war will continue. They will blow themselves up just that because America's with Israel. As long as that they got Israel backing them, this will never end. If you know the history between those people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. If you know the history between those people, it will never end. It's never going to end, right? Because of this man, too. Because of this man. Let me put him there. This man, the great president, man, the great President Trump. It's the leader, the great President Trump, man. He's doing a great job for you guys. If you're American, you don't even want to travel the world right now. You got to stay your ass at home. Because nobody likes, he's making it bad for a lot of Americans. He's making the reputation bad right now. Trust me. People like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff to the network. He's making it bad right now. Right? It's not good. This is the war report. And now Iran is using the Epstein stuff as their weapon. They're kind of late to the game. They should have used that for a long time ago. Saying basically he's using this to hide, right? To hide all his dirt and his friends. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Yeah. What's the updates? I could go on CNN. There's always something what's going on. CNN. There's always something going on with this guy. It's not good, people. It's not good. It's not good. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. And he's making people confused, right? Don't see much news from Israel. You notice? You're right. You're right. As in how much damage has been done. You are right. They're hiding. They're arresting people reporting damage in Israel. They don't want that shame. They don't want that, people. They don't want no one reporting. They're doing a media blockage. A media blockage. You can't show Iran that Iran's beating Israel, right? You cannot show that, right? That's what's going on. It's nighttime right now. So it says Iran strikes Gulf energy sites and fires erupt at major Qatar gas hub. That's not too long ago. It's not too long ago. Iran strikes Gulf energy sites and fires erupt. Yes, this is big. Oil prices surge as energy infrastructure in the region came under attack. Aerial threats were intercepted in Saudi Arabia, so they're hitting their neighbors too. U.S. aircraft carriers move away from Iran war for repairs after fire. Oh, they got hit? They got hit like that? Damn, they're getting hit. America getting hit. That's a major hit, people. What do you guys think of it? This is not good. They don't want this reported. Attacks in the Gulf, oil prices surged today after energy infrastructure in the Persian Gulf countries came under attack, with fires reported at facilities in Qatar and aerial threats interceptions in Saudi Arabia following a warning from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The IRGC accused the US and Israel of targeting its oil and gas. Of course, they done that, so they're responding. Right? Diplomatic moves. Qatar expels Iran's military and security attaches following the attacks on, okay, we know that, blah, 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 blah. Says former Supreme Leader Ali was moderating Iran's nuclear program. Some people are saying, yeah, they warned you guys about this nuclear program. They warned you for weeks and you didn't listen. So, damn, we are all economically doomed. Well, Trump had an economic war. Economic war with the tariffs. He started with the tariffs. And I seen this coming. I knew this war was gonna, like, it's sad to say, don't want war, but I knew this was coming up. I was just waiting when, right? When. I knew this was gonna happen. And Cuba for sure. North Korea, he's just resting like this. I don't know about North Korea, but I knew it was coming. Is there anything you like about Trump? Yes, I like his more, it's a stretch. I like his bluntness. I like that he's not fully scripted, even though some is script. I like that. And I do support certain things Trump says. Some people might not like what I say, but about the illegal immigrants, if you're illegal in the country, your ass gets deported. I'm not, you get what I mean? Sorry, if you're illegal in any country, your ass gets deported. I like his realness, and a lot of people should not jump on the bandwagon saying you hate Trump, because I've done a documentary, I've done a episode on it of before Trump went in this war, way back when he was doing his Hollywood stuff, how much rappers, how much celebrities was mentioning Donald Trump in a good way, right? So I like his boldness. I'm sorry. He's entertaining. Let's be straight up. Even if he does a lot of stuff we don't like, this guy is kind of entertaining. The other day he says no president could get away with the stuff what he's done, right? And how he calls out certain people in the, when he has his meetings and shit. Like, he's entertaining. Remember, Bush was entertaining too, but this guy is like a movie. He makes politics entertaining, even though it's dangerous what he's doing, even though he's playing with people's lives, right? But people, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Down to Earth Network. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all podcast platforms, right? So he is entertaining. Right now, you're right. What you said, Darius, nothing on Israel. Iran-backed militia announces pause in attacks on U.S. embassy in Baghdad. So they attacked. Oh, they're bringing it to Iraq. It's spilling into Iraq now, people. It's spilling in because they have history beef with Iraq. So they attacked the embassy, the U.S. embassy in Iraq, a militia. Senate Republicans again reject efforts to rein in Trump over Iran war. That's 3 minutes ago. What? Republicans again rejected a resolution aimed at requiring President Donald Trump to seek congressional approval for future U.S. military actions against Iran. Something is cooking up, people. This is recent. The Senate voted 47 to 53 to put down the measure, with GOP Senator Rand Paul joining with Democrats in voting to advance it. Democrat Senator John Fetterman voting with Republicans to block it. This is the second time since the current conflict between the U.S. and Iran started that Democrats have forced the unusual vote over Iran war powers. So they're trying to stop this. They're trying to stop this. This is an example that Americans do not support the war. Right? US backed Iraq in the 80s, yes. So now Iran's hitting that, they're hitting Iraq because they know that's where America is really hiding a lot of their stuff, right? They're hitting Iraq. That's 100%. A militia. That's what was reported, that they're hitting Iraq right now. That's the news. That's basically the most recent news in the war report as I'm talking. So it says former U.S. National Counterterrorism Center Director Joe Kent said today that a good deal of key decision makers were not allowed to come and express their opinion to Donald Trump in the lead up war with Iran. In the lead up to this last iteration, good deal of key decision makers were not allowed to come and express their opinions to the president. Kent told former Fox News host Tucker Carlson in an interview, noting that there was robust debate preceding U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear sites last year. So they're all fighting. These people are all fighting, right? They're all fighting each other. They're trying to stop it. Gas operation keeps going. It's nasty. It's nasty. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. You support 100%, you could support, but the man's hurting America's reputation around the world. That after Trump is gone, whoever comes next has to do a cleanup job to make the world really, respect America, because a lot of people don't respect America now under Trump. 100%. This is the War Report, people. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. A lot of people don't support Trump. And there's a lot of people who do support Trump. I'm going to be fair. There's a lot of people who do support Trump. I see a lot of MAGA people coming in the chat a lot of the times. They're 100% support Trump. They say Trump is God. I've heard it. Trump is God, Jesus saved Trump, and all types of shit. Right? So, yeah, they're attacking what's called Iraq, a part of Iraq. They're saying some militia. Iran-backed militia announces pause in attacks on U.S. embassy in Baghdad with conditions. So there's some conditions. They're saying some type of conditions. They want them to end. Do you think China will get involved? They're already involved in some type of way. You know what I heard? This is what I'm hearing. They're making America do all the stuff, or Trump do all the stuff he wants to do. But once he touches Cuba, that's where he's going to set off. People might think, oh, little Cuba, nothing's going to happen. But Russia is threatening America right now. China, they're just quiet there with Russia. All of these stuff, all this stuff America's doing is to hurt Russia and China. So China and Russia bows down to America to give in to America to buy oil from America to make America great again. That's what this all is for. To make America great again. That's what it's for. So China's already in it. China's in it because he put major tariffs, economic war. America put major tariffs on China already. There's a lot of tariffs on China, right? Or a good amount of tariffs on China. So there's tariffs on Russia, right? The oil tankers they seized from Venezuela was two Russian oil tankers. They didn't like that stuff, and Venezuela had contracts with China. They don't like that. Iran has some dealing with China and Russia. They don't like that. So they're already in the war. That's why you hear rumors. I don't know if it's fact that Russia's helping Iran with intel, right? And drones. We're hearing that. Zelensky already, blew the whistle saying that Iran is getting help from Russia with drones. China probably helping. They're helping this. They want the supreme leader. They don't want nobody else. And that's facts. People, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network, the Down to Earth Podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts. You could check all the links. I encourage you to check some of the videos because I know the videos get shadow banned and shit like that, right? Especially when you talk about stuff like this. Where does America get its main source of oil? America has oil in Alaska. America was trying to do deals with Canada, guarantee, but they get a lot of their stuff probably from Alaska and the Middle East. The majority of their oil, American oil, is in the Middle East. That's why all those bases got attacked. The only reason you get in Kuwait and Saudi Arabia getting attacked is because they got American military bases in there, and America is the ones who help, you know, with their oil, I guess, operations. So Kuwait, Qatar, even Iraq, they're getting America's getting the oil from the Middle East. Let's be straight up. America is getting oil from the Middle East, and I'm hearing Israel has oil. So that's what's up. America's they got probably oil. America has some oil, but not enough. Not enough. So they that's a reserve. So they want to go. They're sucking out the Middle East right now, and now they're going to suck more out from Iran. They got Venezuela, they got Iran, they got Iraq. That's the only reason he wanted to go to Greenland, people. That's the only reason. Because Greenland has minerals and shit, right? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So, if there was a vote today, would you guys vote for Trump to be the president? One in the chat, yes, two, no. One in the chat, yes, two, no. If there was a vote today to make Trump the president, would you vote for Donald Trump? I want to know. Would you vote for that man? I want to know. Because he's doing a lot. He's doing a lot of damage all over the earth. And he don't give a damn. Right? Because he is the Mr. Tough Guy. He's Mr. Tough Guy. And Iraq too. One in the chat, are you for Trump for this war? Two, no. That's all I want to know. One in the chat, for Trump, two, no. Ah, where's the MAGA people, man? Where's all the MAGA people? Where's all the MAGA people when we need them to talk? One in the chat for Donald Trump, two no, if he was to run today for the president. See, polls is showing it. He's putting America in some big shit. All right? He has 3 more years of damage. 3 more years. Darius, 2 no. He has 3 more years, man. 3 more years of damage. Do you think you'll make the 3 years? You think you'll make them? I don't know. But yes, people, this was the war report. The war report. We're going to have some more episodes, some more updates. The latest update is American embassy getting hit in Iraq. If it wasn't for him, it would be someone else. Yes, I believe, because what's her name? Hillary Clinton, her campaign, she was talking about going to Iran. She wanted to make a no-fly zone. She was planning to go to Iran. There was talks even with Obama a little bit, but that died off. But her campaign was making a no-fly zone in Iran. That would have been interesting, right? But yeah, you're right. But right now, Baghdad or whatever, some militia linked to the supreme leaders people has hit Baghdad, and they're trying to hit America. This is not ending no time soon, not next week, not a month from now, not 5 months from now. This will continue. I hope you guys know. It's not gonna end. The war is not going anywhere. And that's facts. Right? That's 100% facts. The war is not ending. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is the Down to Earth Network. Yeah, giving you the real, raw, unfiltered truth. Right? It's the truth. Nothing fake. Real shit. Right? Thank you, brother. Much respect. Catch you soon, Darius. Good person in the chat, man. With knowledge. A lot of people are scared right now in America and the world because you got this crazy man talking every day about what he's gonna do and where he's gonna go. People are scared of nuclear this and nuclear that, or China this and Russia that. Blame Donald Trump. This is the War Report with your host Sean Myrie, and please subscribe. And I'm out.